If I was still doing my DNU series, these two right here will qualify for sure. So in this picture, you see two individuals by the name of Darius Miles, who is the one on the left, and Michael Davis, who is on the right. Darius is 21. I had to pause it right quick because I had to get his age. He's 21. And Michael is 20. And both of these individuals have both been charged with capital murder after there was a shooting that happened on the campus of the University of Alabama, where a young woman by the name of Jamea Harris was killed. And they got them on surveillance where it links them right directly to the crime. And the reason why I found out about this is because I follow a page called DMV, I think it's called DMV Daily on Instagram, which covers a lot of the news that happens in the area that I live in. And the reason why this story covered it, or that page covered it, is because it turns out that both of these men are from the area that I live in. One of them is from DC, and I believe Darius is from DC, and Michael is from Charles County. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Charles County, that is where the Waldorf La Plata area is. Y'all probably still don't know what that is. Unless you live in the area, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But they're from this area. So that's how they were able to link these two to this area. But they just happened to both be in Alabama because one of them was a student there and played basketball. Like, the future is done. They are both done. When you get that capital murder charge, good luck being able to prove your innocence. But I'm going to go ahead now and read this article coming from WSFA.com. Two people, including an Alabama men's basketball player, have been charged with capital murder in relation to an early Sunday morning shooting near the Strip in Tuscaloosa. Darius Harrison Miles, a junior on the University of Alabama men's basketball team, was arrested after 23-year-old Jamea Harris of Birmingham was shot and killed Sunday morning. Michael Lynn Davis, age 20, has also been arrested and charged with capital murder along with Miles. Tuscaloosa police and University of Alabama police were dispatched to the Walk of Champions at Bryant-Denny Stadium at approximately 1:45 a.m. on Sunday. Upon their arrival, the driver of the vehicle told authorities that the suspects had fired shots into his car, killing Harris. And I'm going to bring up her picture when I'm done reading the article. According to police, Harris was not affiliated with the University of Alabama. Police said that the driver had stopped at the Walker of Champions to call for help, but the shooting took place on Gray Street off of University Boulevard. The driver told police that he has returned the fire and believed he had struck one of the suspects. After speaking with witnesses and viewing video surveillance, police were able to develop and locate suspects, one of which had indeed been struck by gunfire and had non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities said it appears that the shooting was the result of a minor argument between the suspects and the victims after they encountered each other on the Strip. In a statement to WBRC, the University of Alabama Athletics Department said they offer their deepest sympathies to the family and friends of the victim from last night's incident. They confirmed that Miles is no longer a member of the Alabama men's basketball team. The basketball team announced before Saturday's game that Miles would miss the remainder of the season with an ankle injury. The former junior from Washington, D.C. had averaged 1.5 points per game in just 6 games this season. The last game he appeared in was against Jackson State on December 20th. Separately, the University of Alabama released a statement. The University of Alabama's utmost priority is the safety and well-being of the campus community. We are grieved by the incident that occurred near campus last night and extend our deepest condolences to the family's victims and friends. We are grateful for the quick and thorough response of law enforcement and emergency response teams, and we will continue to fully support the ongoing investigation. We were made aware of the recent charge against student athlete Darius Miles. He has been removed from campus and is no longer a member of the Alabama's men's basketball team. The university offers comprehensive emotional and mental health support services and resources through the holiday. Members of the campus can call, and it gave their outreach number and some other numbers as well. Miles and Davis are currently being held without bond, which is definitely for the best because I could definitely see both of them being a flight risk. That is crazy. That is wild, and it's very unfortunate for a multitude of reasons. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up her image. So here's a picture of her right there. I was going to use a picture of her by herself because I had only saw that one picture, but I didn't know she had another picture with her son. So this is a picture of the victim right here, Jamea Harris. She was only 23 years old, and she had a 5-year-old son, and that's her son right there. So now her son has just lost their mother and probably has no idea what is going on and why he'll never see his mother again. Only 5 years old to lose his mother, and she was only 23. And I bet you she was killed over some nonsense. So basically what it sounds like to me is that she got hit by a stray bullet. It wasn't like an intended target or anything like that, but you know what they say, a bullet has no name. It only has targets, and wherever it lands is where it will land. You know, I do offer my condolences to this young lady's family, her loved ones, her friends, especially her son. Like this, that's got to be very devastating. That's not some news that you would want to hear. As for the two knuckleheads, it is what it is. Good luck wherever it is that y'all are going, because the way it's looking right now, it is not looking too good. That like I said before, that capital murder charge is something that is hard to shake. It really is. But one thing I do want to address, though, based on the comments that I have seen on particular pages on Instagram in particular, because I already saw it on 2 pages. I saw it on Baller Alert, and then I saw it on the DMV Daily. One thing that we as Black people have to stop saying when it comes to situations such as these is how, you know, it has to be the music. It's, you know, they say it's drill music and this type of stuff and all of this type of stuff like that. And one thing that really gets me about that is because of those RICO cases that's been going on with with some of these rappers lately, and how they were doing that. And I believe people are stemming and pulling from that. To be honest with you, killing and murders have been going on since the beginning of Inception. And that was before drill music was a thing. So to sit here and pretend like the music is making people act out and do these things because a Black person killed another Black person, and notice they only do that when a Black person kills someone else who's Black. They always want to mention the music. But whenever it's like say a white person kills another white person, they'll never bring up music. Hell, they barely talk about it, honestly, if they can get away with not talking about it. But that's one thing Black people have to get out of the handle of, out of the routine of saying and going to, oh, it was the music that made this person do it. What if it was just that's who they were? What if that was in the moment, that's what they were feeling at the time? It's not like they were going around yelling out the lyrics to certain songs while they were doing what they were doing. Otherwise, they would have said that music was the contributing factor, which they did not say that. But for some strange reason, a lot of Black people say, oh, it's the music that's doing it. Oh, it's the music. It can never be anything else. Like, say, the person who's holding the gun and firing it off. Because what you're basically also saying is you're giving it an excuse as to why they did it. And that's one thing you don't want to do. No, they did it because in the moment, that's what they wanted to do. The music did not make them do that. That's basically the equivalent almost of when PC loves to say, oh, it was a mental health thing. They, you know, the mental health thing, they were just clearly out of their mind. They weren't coherent when they did what they did. The most recent ones I've come across lately is, you know, the childhood trauma. That's the most recent one. And of course, the most infamous one when it comes to these cops, I feared for my life. When none of those are flying. So don't use it's the music that made them do it, because then you're inserting an excuse as to why it was and saying it's the music. And let's be real here. A lot of these rappers nowadays, the music that they're putting out, they're not doing it on their own unless they're an independent artist. And many of them in the mainstream, of course, aren't independent. Look at who runs these record labels. But let's be real here. Many of y'all aren't going to run and check them because y'all saw how they did with Kanye West and Kyrie Irving and Whoopi Goldberg. Y'all ain't ready for a real fight with them folks. I wanted to add in this little bit of information. This is something that recently came out about this story when it comes to the gun that was used in the shooting and ultimately murder of Jamea Harris. It says Darius Miles did not shoot Jamea Harris, but admitted providing the gun that did. So this is Darius right here, and this is the other guy, Michael. I believe that's, Michael. And so either way, it's still not a good look, because it was his weapon. It's, as far as we know, registered in his name. It's almost a thing of, it might as well have been shot by him. So it really is not going to matter much. It's just that he wasn't the one to pull the trigger. But there was something else that came across my way, and I tried to find it. And it was a statement that was made from Jamea's mother. And apparently she was saying how the word on the street was the reason why all of this really kicked off was because Darius was trying to talk to Jamea and she turned him down. Then one thing led to another, and then this is what happens. So this is, hopefully there's a trial surrounded around this so we can get the truth out, because it's a lot of moving parts with this story. But the one thing we know for certain is that this woman right here is deceased, and these two right here are responsible either way.